what's up? We are in a studio. This view is not as pretty, and also this camera is quite, but this is the studio space, and also the place of production for now. It is February 27th, 2:53 in the morning, and it's interesting times. The last time that I made a video was 23 days ago, so not too long. But the time before that was like 3 months ago, almost 4 months ago. Yeah, so in terms of consistency, it's been very not consistent, obviously. Yeah, but I don't really have an issue with that. I think that, if you want what you can't have, you're gonna be unhappy. And obviously, I can't make a video every single day. So anyway, enough about talking about the videos. Let's actually talk for the video. Yeah, this month was, the focus lately has been Phuket Gains, beef jerky, and what else am I looking for here? Yeah, and also content. I started thinking about, I don't know if the audio is good or not, so I'm a bit nervous now. Maybe I should have done a test. Alright, I'm gonna see. Yeah, the video's fine. The audio. Yeah, but those have been the two focuses. Phuket Gains, the beef jerky company, and then content creation, which I kind of see as a separate company. But yeah, I got my DTV visa. I think I spoke about that in the previous video. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Yeah, I felt like, just hitting record and seeing what came out. Yeah. Lately, I have been praying every single day, visiting the temple or the church every single day. Yesterday, I picked up journaling again, and today I was also journaling, which we had fallen out of journaling for 2 weeks or so, which really did bum me out. I did not like that we moved so far away from it. I think these videos are helpful. But I think that writing contains so much intention, and it's a little bit different than talking to a camera and just letting words flow out. Both are beautiful, but I really do enjoy writing and journaling a lot. It just helps me understand where I am and where I'm at, what I'm doing, right? Right now I'm thinking about if AA is watching this video, because she had found this channel. I know she did, and then she was telling me, I think maybe 6 videos ago, when I was preparing to leave to Colorado, she told me that I looked really, really sad and exhausted. and stressed out, and that she felt sorry for me. And I was like, man, I wish you weren't watching these videos. And anyway, that's what I'm thinking about now. Because I was thinking about talking about, I really hope you're not watching this, eh? I was thinking about talking about my current relationship. I've been in a relationship now for, like, almost 3 months. And it has been the most thoughtful and easygoing, caring, mindful, just laid back relationship I've ever had. It's really taught me what I want, and what I won't put up with again, from past relationships, because I simply just, I've been able to see through this woman what a really good woman can actually be. And to be fair, she's much older than any woman I've ever dated. She's 30 years old, and I'm fucking 20. But, still, she's also, she walks very close to God, even though she doesn't think about it very often. I don't think her thoughts, so I don't know for sure. But, yeah, she does. I can talk about my things, and she can understand it so perfectly and quickly. And I don't need to explain to her so many things about myself, or why I make the decisions I make, or why I do the things that I do. She just goes, all right, well, he's making his decisions. And that feels nice. Yeah, and she's super kind and extremely helpful so often. And I guess what I do for her is I am there for her, and I help her when I can. I push her to do good things and pursue the things that she wants to. She consults me if she wants like a second opinion on things, and she trusts me. And I just listen to her. Like, most of the time she just loves talking about whatever's happening in her life. And it doesn't really matter what I have to say. She just like me to listen. So then I just sit there and listen. Yeah, and I cannot complain. One thing I discovered about this relationship was, I think about a month into the relationship, I had gotten sick, and she was coming in, and I wasn't leaving my room to go do work in other places. I was just in my room, laying in bed, super sick, and she kept coming in and out of my room over and over again, always, coming to me. And I remember I didn't want to be rude and just be like, I didn't want to treat her badly, because I felt like with AA, I had really tried to communicate to A what I wanted and what I needed from her, and I felt like a really bad person because I felt like it hurt both of us. But I think in reality, anyway, let's not go too much into that. So I was afraid to tell my current girlfriend, hey, I need space, and this, shitty feeling crept in, and I didn't like, I didn't like when she would come into my room, but I wouldn't tell her. I would just let her be around and everything, and, I wouldn't say what I was thinking. And then I took a trip to Lombok, to Indonesia, to do stuff with my Thai visa. And, when I came back, it was really nice to see her, and I told her what I was thinking, which was that I felt like, I did love her, and that it's very easy for me to love people. I love so many people that, most people would say aren't worthy of love, and I fall in love so easily, and I just want to love and give and give and give. And I explained this to her, and I was like, so I need you to understand, obviously she can't have kids anymore, and I want to have kids. Obviously, I explained to her, like, yeah, I really do. I do hold so much love for you right now, and things feel good, and I appreciate you, but I don't know how long that will last, and I need you to know that my truth is that I can't stay with you forever. She's like, okay. I'm like, okay, cool. And then, I mean, we've just been really good. And I think that, after I got that truth off of my chest, everything else in comparison seemed so small. So I was just like, she'd come in my room and I was like, or if she came to like the office here, and I just didn't want her there. I was busy with something. I would just tell her. Or if we're sitting outside, sitting together, and she's talking too much, I'll just tell her, hey, would you mind if we had some silence? She's like, yeah, sure. And just smiling at me all the time. Yeah. And it just feels nice. It feels like no stress. It doesn't feel like we take energy from each other unless we're doing lots of things for each other, but it's quite rare that we're, constantly giving all of our energy to the other person, so it feels appropriate. Yeah, it just feels like we both create positive energy and are both positive people, and that resonates with each other, and we create new energy through that. And I feel like I have another person I can rely on, I can really trust, and I trust their opinion. And she provides for herself, and yeah, she works in a really cool industry. She's like a fight manager. So yeah, I mean, it definitely feels right now. And it's cool because for the first time ever in a relationship, I felt like I've been completely and totally honest. One of the things that was hard with AA was we never had the conversation that she obviously loved me way more than I loved her. And like to the group where it was like, it just makes sense though, because I'm from like she knew that I could maybe provide her a completely different life. Income inequality it's very different between an American and Burmese woman, and yeah, and I think that I knew that A couldn't provide for herself, and I wanted to help her, and I wanted to be there for her. But when I became like, she would pick me over everything, I was like, no, I need you to have your own life. And yeah, my current girlfriend, she definitely has her own life, and she has her own priorities. And if I gave her like an ultimatum or something, it's a totally stupid idea, but just for the sake of the argument, let's say I gave her the ultimatum of like, you have to not speak with any of your friends anymore, and you have to delete all the contacts of guys in your phone, whatever, all this bullshit. Yeah, she probably wouldn't do it, because she'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is so weird, Eli. Like, what's wrong with you? I don't know, she's just like she's a wise woman. Yeah, so that's been really good. I think that I might run out of money in like a few months. And I would really like to stay here. But if I can't, because I'm not making enough money, then I will, I think I'll go back home and do some kind of like forest program, or planting trees or something. I was talking to this traveler that I met. Her name is Toki. And yeah, she told me that she had, planted trees for 3 months straight, where it was like 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 1 day off for 3 months straight. And, yeah, and they paid for housing and food, and at the end they gave her like 15 grand. And in my mind, I'm like, man, that just sounds like a bit of a meditation retreat where I'm also doing something positive. and I have zero worries other than, like, you know, I think that I would get over the worry of the work quickly. Yeah, and I would just have, the only responsibility that I would really have, it was the work and making sure I was consistent. And yeah, I think it'd just be nice. It'd just be like a meditation retreat. That's honestly, and I get paid. Yeah, and I get to just spend time in nature and see more of the United States and Canada and this kind of thing. So this sounds so cool to me. Yeah, and it's like, you know, if that's the worst case scenario, life is great. I am definitely afraid of what might happen to the businesses and the connections I've set up, and I was talking about Maurice with that, about opportunity cost and, you know, what might be lost, which is why I've contemplated maybe taking a loan out instead of going to America to work. But yeah, that's something that I'll have to decide on, and that's something that, you know, I think that I want to talk with, you know, somebody outside of Thailand that I trust. Yeah. Yeah, but life feels good, and I feel so close with God, which I'm so thankful for. And, you know, like, I feel so thankful for all the people around me and all the people here, and this place that is just absolutely paradise. It truly is just wonderful here. Yeah. I bought this yesterday, even though I'm going to run out of money soon. Boom. Because we're going all in. Create. Anything you can. Yeah, this thing's fucking sick. Yeah. I'm supposed to start a batch of beef jerky tonight, and then take some stuff to Phuket. Yeah, sorry, I found myself becoming a little bit nervous about giving details about this. But I think by the time any of this goes viral, I think everything will be beyond figured out, for sure. But yeah, I'll take some stuff to PGA tomorrow. Right now, I'm now checking their schedule and what time the morning class is. Today's Thursday. Morning class it ends at 10:30, mashallah. That's not so early. Cool. Yeah, and I think since the last video, me and Maurice have gotten so much closer. Yeah, we had a conversation with each other, because I was telling him about this new idea that I had for a second business for myself, and it was going to be launched with, at the time I was like, yeah, Sanad and Norbert, these two guys, I'm going to bring them together and we're going to make, you know, this studio together. And then also it's like, you know, I can act as an independent creator still while also nurturing these two, creating this together, acting as like a mediator and a little bit of like a director. Yeah, but at this point now I just kind of see it as like I'm just expanding my network, and I keep meeting more clients, keep meeting more creators, and spreading around the work as it's needed, because obviously I can't spend all my time creating content. I have another business to run. But yeah, so I had that first meeting with Sanad and Norbert, and then directly after it I called Maurice, because he's my business partner with this beef jerky stuff. And he was like, bro, I'm not so sure about this stuff, and da-da-da, because Sanad and you know, it's just gonna, like, things are gonna get more busy with the beef jerky and da-da-da. And yeah, I had said to him, I was like, hey man, it's just an idea. And I want you to know that, like, I trust you. Like, I called you as soon as I finished this meeting because I wanted to know what you thought. And I need you to know that I'm always going to prioritize you because I see you as my closest brother, like, that I have here in Thailand. If I'm speaking my honest truth, I just think, like, I trust Noah Lichty so much. But me and Noah never had this, like, this ability to push each other to this degree. And then also we never made, like, me and Noah did make a business together. The flea market stuff. Goofy kids. Yeah. But, Maurice is a pro MMA fighter. And just being around that, like, energy and having somebody like that push you and give you advice and when you talk to each other on the phone every day, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling very motivated. He's like, me neither, but I still got everything done. You need to get everything done too. Just because you're not motivated doesn't mean that, you can't, whatever. He's just always giving me this advice, and, he gives me that piece, and he's really interested in God and spirituality, and it's cool because I've also just gotten so much closer with God in the past few months, and felt so involved with him, and felt like he's so involved with me, and been able to have so many conversations with Maurice that are thankfully, like, eye-opening and help his own spiritual journey. So that's really cool. And then also, yeah, I think those are our two specialties. Like, he just has that grit and that discipline, and I have this, like, really strong connection to God and understanding and passion. I mean, it's my biggest passion. It's my biggest priority over art, over business, over money, over, preservation of my family, over my future, over, creating a legacy. None of it matters. And if it stacks up against God, I pick God every single time. I'm just a fucking fool for God. Yeah, and, I think that just enables me to, anyway. Yeah, so me and him both have those things. And simultaneously, we have all these other interests, and we do all these other things, and we make jokes, and we, we pursue everyday life, right? And we both train, and yeah, there's just so many great aspects about having a brother like this that is just, I feel so thankful, and I really am thankful to God for Maurice. Yeah. Lately, we've been trying to decide if we even want these Swiss consultants to be a part of the beef jerky business, and if they are going to be a part of it, I think that 25% is too much, because, yeah, man, we've just been, like, not super satisfied with the work that they've been doing. Yeah, I mean, maybe it was just because of the meeting yesterday, like, Luca can just sometimes come off as so young, and, like, he's trying to convince us of something, and it's like, you don't want a business partner that you're supposed to be able to trust to be, like, convincing you of something that he doesn't fully believe himself, right? And you can tell. Like, he's making the argument that it makes sense to register a Swiss company for this whole business, which is 20,000 Swiss francs, fucking expensive. And yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I think that, because I was making the argument of, like, hey, let's talk to this connection of mine about what makes more sense, because as an American, I found out through this connection that I can own 100% of the company, of all the shares. We don't need, like, a 50-50 relationship with a Thai, right? Or 49-51, where the Thai has 51, right? Yeah, and immediately, like, I think Luca could tell that Sasha was a bit opposed to it, but Sasha hadn't said anything. And then Luca took up, like, the stand to speak and was speaking about it. And, Luca's talking about how there's, like, benefits and how it makes more sense and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm listening to him say all this stuff and just thinking to myself, like, I never said that we weren't gonna do the Swiss company, but now you're like, it's like you're panicking to jump into convincing us why we should make it a Swiss company. But so he finishes talking. I don't say anything because I'm waiting for Sasha to talk. Maurice was feeling super sick and he wasn't talking at all. And then Maurice just says, like, why? Because Luca was like, it's help, it just makes more sense. And Maurice is just like, why? And then Luca's like, well, Sasha, maybe you can take this one. It would be better if Sasha does this. He just has no idea. But he was just like making an argument that he didn't even understand. And that part, that's just what feels weird. And then also previously he was talking about like, creating a contract that has like terms and agreements, and that like, we would slip in there something that would go under the client's, like, it would go over their head, and how, whatever. It was just like, what are you talking about, Luca? Like, we don't want to do that to people. That doesn't, so, I mean, that's an example of sleaziness. And then the other example is just like ignorance and weird confidence with no real foundation, right? Just like an idea that he thought made sense, and then attempted to convince us of it when he didn't even understand himself. But anyway, the consensus is we will just talk to Joey and figure out if the Swiss company's best, if the American company, or if the original thing of 51 Thai, 49 foreigners is whatever. It doesn't. It's not for this video, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I think that, like, what my 20s have been so far. Sorry, what year 20 has been so far for Eli has been just letting go of things that I don't need and introducing new things into that, newly vacated space that are positive and uplift me and push me to do better. It's extremely easy to get everything done when it's very easy. It's that simple. It's not as easy when it's not as easy. And when it's not as easy, you just need to fucking do it anyway. But also not get like so caught up in, in those moments where it's not as easy. Because when it's not as easy, it's not as easy, right? And you're gonna feel more pain. Or you're gonna be thinking to yourself, how much longer do I have to do this? Most of the time when you're doing work. But I also think that there's like, in these moments, there's a reason why you're finding dissatisfaction with, or you're finding it's not as easy. And I think usually it has to do with your emotions and your core root values, and also what you're practicing. I think that's why reflection of the self, or reflection on God, is what makes me feel so free, and I feel all this energy, and I feel the Holy Spirit move through me, and then I come back to my ego and go, oh, okay, I need to go and do some work. And I'm doing the work, and I'm like, look at me clinging onto my ego so I can write this down, and it all just feels like a joke and like a blessing. It's such a gift. And I mean, if you feel like it's not as easy, it's like, why isn't it as easy? Because you don't want to do it? Why don't you want to do it? You get to do this. You get to run your own company. You get to, film and edit and create and get paid for that, right? Like, what do you want? Who's the person that's even wanting? That's a better question. Anyway, I think I am coming to the end of my video log here. It's been nearly 30 minutes. I think the rest of the night, after I finish this, I'm going to wash my hands and put some beef in the dehydrator. It's already marinated. I'll set a timer and then I think I'll wake up in like 6 hours and take everything out. Yeah, I'm borrowing my neighbor's bike, so I have to bring it back to the house. So I think after I wake up, then I will. Wait, so if I have to marry. Yeah, anyway. I think maybe also making a visual for tomorrow, or I can just go and drop off the jerky. Anyway, I don't need to explain all this, but yeah, life is good, and I feel so thankful, and I do miss my family, and I feel so much happiness. I think the only thing I feel fear about is if, I have to go home and leave the businesses to the guys, and, feeling fear of how they would do without me and what would happen while I'm not here. But at the very least, I could just leave during low season where there's really not that much going on. I just miss surf season, I guess. Yeah, but I feel so weightless. What else is there to do? What else is there to do? What else is there to worry about? There's actually nothing to worry about. The only thing to worry about is when you start worrying and you go, okay, well, what? I should worry about what's making me worry. Yeah. But yeah, I just feel like this is the perfect place to be. I'm almost 20 and a half now. It's been 4 months since I turned 20, right? Almost 5. And this year is going by so fast. Like I've been really tracking the days, watching the days tick by, unlike some phases of my life. And yeah, I mean, the days, the sun rises and then it sets, and suddenly it's fucking 2026. It is February 27th, 2025 at 3:25 in the morning. I hope you enjoyed today if you were alive on this day. And I'll see you next time. Peace.